On the first day back in the country, my best friend threw a welcome party for me. Not knowing my limits, I ate for 6 hours straight and ended up with a stomachache from overeating. I was getting in 4 at the hospital, bored out of my mind, so I took a photo of my bloated belly and sent it to her. My stomach's gotten so big because of you, it hurts so much. The next moment, a message came through. Sarah, which hospital are you at? Surgery harms the body, don't do anything reckless. I looked closely and realized I'd made a mistake. How did I end up sending that to my best friend's uncle? Dennis was my ex-boyfriend. The moment I first saw him, I was completely captivated and shamelessly pursued him. He was cool and noble, a well-known lawyer in the industry. I chased after him for half a year to no avail. My best friend egged me on. Sarah, you're usually fearless, so why are you so timid around my uncle? If you like him, just go for it. What's done is done, don't be afraid he won't go along. So I mustered up courage with some drinks and tried to make a move on him, just about to take the final step, when Dennis's junior sister showed up with a client. I was so embarrassed my face turned bright red. Dennis stood up and said just one word, "Get out." All my feelings vanished in an instant, and I quickly went home. It just so happened that my mentor had an overseas project needing someone, so I signed up and went abroad immediately. I had just come back when he set his sights on me. As I leaned against the wall, pale-faced, coming out of the hospital, I happened to meet a pair of cold, clear eyes. He stared intently at my flat stomach, his expression dark. Sarah, don't you care about your own body? The first day back in the country and you dare to go into a hospital. Where's the person who got you pregnant? She didn't answer my call, but transferred me 3,000 yuan. That damn Wendy, I contacted her half an hour ago and even told her about the wrong message. Instead, she told me she met a younger little wolf, sent me 3,000 yuan as consolation money, told me to go to the hospital first, and said she would come see me tomorrow. Upon hearing this, Dennis's face turned ashen. He clenched his fists tightly, then rolled up his sleeves, revealing his strong forearms, and lifted me horizontally. I was wearing a short skirt today, and the scorching skin contact immediately made me blush. And no, it's not necessary, I can walk by myself. Don't try to be tough. Girls need to rest well at times like this. I'll take you home. I bit my lip tightly, nestled in his arms, my body tense. From my angle, Dennis's profile was simply perfect. Smooth lines, a swallowing Adam's apple, and the unbuttoned collar revealing glimpses of skin as he moved. Just like that night 3 years ago. No, Sarah, pull yourself together, stop thinking those dirty thoughts. Dennis put me in the car, leaned down, and his familiar scent quickly enveloped me. I hurriedly pressed against his chest. No. We can't. Click. The seatbelt clicked into the buckle, and I awkwardly lowered my head. Dennis's expression was complicated, and he said nothing. The 20-minute drive from the hospital to home took him 40 minutes. I finally couldn't hold back. Dennis, can you go a bit faster? I'm feeling a bit unwell and want to go home and rest. I was really tired after all the fuss. Dennis said slowly, you only just remembered you're unwell? You just got out of the hospital, why not stay a few more days? And now you want to leave? Well, the doctor said to go home and observe, and told me not to be so reckless. Dennis just snorted coldly, veins bulging on the back of his hand. I lowered my head in silence. This guy, I never even asked him to come. It was just a wrong message. Why did he come here to make a fuss? It wasn't until he reached the doorstep that he spoke. Keep warm, don't eat anything carelessly, I'll come to see you in a couple of days. No need, I'm fine, thank you. I hurriedly ran inside after opening the car door. A gaze remained fixed on me from behind, and only when I closed the door did that pressure disappear. I let out a long breath, just about to enter the house, when Dennis sent a message. Sarah, forget that person, he can't give you happiness. He can't give me happiness, but he can give me emotional value. We are soulmates. I've known Wendy for over 10 years, after such a long relationship, how can it just end like that? Dennis wouldn't still be holding a grudge against me, would he? wanting to cut ties with us? No way. I immediately apologized obediently. I'm sorry, I will definitely remember what you said and won't bother you anymore. Dennis didn't reply, and I was anxious all over, unable to sleep well the entire night. The next day when we met, Wendy clicked her tongue and sighed, Sarah, your luck is terrible, he actually targeted you, you're doomed. I heard from home that they're going to arrange an engagement for the little uncle. What are you planning to do now? Hearing this, I felt a bit bitter inside, then shrugged, what else can I do? I couldn't even handle Shingpu, almost got sued by your uncle, I really don't dare anymore. Wendy patted me, the first time is awkward, the second time you get used to it. Now you have experience, just try once more. I was about to drink my iced coffee when a big hand stopped me. Looking up, I saw Dennis staring at me with a dark expression, and my heart skipped a beat. Damn, did he just hear everything I said? You just came back from the hospital, and now you're drinking something cold? Sarah, you really don't take care of your body. I'm fine. Do you even understand what it means to be responsible for your own body? You went to the hospital last night, and today you're drinking something cold. After saying that, he plopped down right next to me and called the waiter to bring me a cup of hot milk. I was dumbfounded. It was over 30 degrees outside, the air conditioning was on inside, and he wanted me to drink hot milk. Drink something warm, it's good for you. I was speechless, but faced with his dominance, and thinking about how he told me to get lost that day, I really didn't have any fight left in me. I obediently sat there, sipping the hot milk little by little. When I caught Wendy's gaze across from me, I sent out a silent plea for help, and she shrugged helplessly with both hands. Damn, I should never have come out. I looked at the man beside me and took a deep breath. Isn't lawyer Dennis busy? Meeting a client, just passing by, he replied calmly, flipping open the menu. His knobby fingers brushed the paper, and his composed, noble demeanor made my heart race uncontrollably. With such a stunningly handsome guy sitting next to me, I didn't dare have any thoughts. Just then, my phone screen lit up with a message from Wendy, take the chance to make a move, I'm rooting for you. She winked at me and then said, Uncle, I suddenly remembered something, I have to go first. She stood up and left. Before I could call her back, she said again, Uncle, Sarah is in your care. Take her home later. We've walked so much today, I'm exhausted. She raised her eyebrows and left just like that. I turned to meet Dennis's gaze and, mustering courage, said, no need, I'll just take a taxi by myself. It's no problem, I'll give you a ride since it's on the way. Seeing him like this, I knew I was going to get a lecture from him again today. He knocked on the table, bringing me back to reality. Sarah, what are your plans from now on? That person just left you like that, do you need me to help you sue? I thought to myself, that's your own niece. Wendy, if you knew that leaving me would make your uncle target you, and even sue you, how would you feel? Seeing my silence, Dennis sighed, forget it. I was about to speak when a voice came from behind, Senior brother, why are you here? It was her junior sister. When Yulia saw me, she immediately widened her eyes, Senior brother, why are you still with her? This woman, she. I crossed my arms and looked at her, what's wrong with this woman of mine? Senior brother, how can you be with such a shameless woman? She climbed into your bed. A sudden surge of anger rose in my heart. It's been 3 years, and you still can't get over it, huh? At this moment, Dennis said coldly, Yulia. This is my private matter. Then he said to me, you sit down first, I'll have a word with her. No need, lawyer Dennis, I wasn't looking for you anyway. I stood up and said to him, I'm sorry about what happened 3 years ago, but I've been gone for 3 years. If you want to sue me to seek justice, go ahead. After speaking, I turned and left. Dennis, unable to catch up, was stopped by Yulia grabbing his hand. Senior brother, you promised, you never had those kinds of feelings for her, so why are you still involved with her? I ignored it and kept walking out the door until my legs were weak from exhaustion. Wendy called me, sis, did you hook up? Hook up with who? I saw Yulia. When I mentioned Yulia, Wendy immediately got angry. that green tea again. Every time she squeals senior brother in that shrill voice, it's disgusting. What about my uncle? Didn't he speak up for you? I sat by the roadside sighing, what can he do for me? We're not even related, enough, I'm going home. After hanging up, I opened the DD app, and just then a car stopped in front of me. Dennis's face appeared, get in. No need, lawyer Dennis, we're not that close. Dennis sneered lightly, not close, yeah, as a suspect who almost compromised you, you should keep your distance from me. Dennis looked at me with a complicated expression, I didn't. You're not a suspect, Sarah, I don't see you that way, can you get in now? Let's talk. About you, me, and what's between us. Hearing this, I suddenly hesitated and was about to refuse, but he opened the car door and walked over to me, lifting me up directly. Hey! Dennis, what are you doing? Put me down. Cars passed by on the road, and Dennis gave my butt a pat. Stop messing around. Instantly, my face flushed red, and he carried me into the car, fastening my seatbelt. At that moment, I felt completely unwell. When he took me to the hotel, I became even more unsettled. Lawyer Dennis, what are you going to do? Return to the scene. His words stunned me. It had been 3 years, and he actually wanted to go back to the scene? Dennis, are you crazy? He took me to the same room as before, and I was completely bewildered. Dennis, have you been drinking? But Dennis looked at me, I'm very sober. Sarah, you've been abroad for 3 years, found such a scumbag, even willing to get pregnant and miscarry with him, yet you don't even come back to beg me. Am I really so unbearable for you to face? The grievance I had just suppressed exploded all at once. Beg you? Beg you for what? You kicked me out, and do you think I'm shameless enough to cling to you? Dennis, I like you, but I've also paid a price. You know how lonely I am alone abroad. My parents found out I was after you and sent me away overnight, fearing your family would get angry and harm me. Now that I'm back, you still won't let me go. That Yulia said those things about me, and I endured it all. Killing someone is just a slap on the wrist. However you want to vent, let's settle it once and for all today. I gave up and plopped down on the sofa. Dennis laughed at my anger. Settle it? Fine, you're responsible for my innocence. The next second, he pulled me up and pressed his lips against mine. The man's domineering, hormonal aura surrounded me completely. I froze. No, is he crazy? This is settling it? This is clearly seduction. I snapped back to my senses and shoved him aside fiercely, wiped my mouth. Dennis wiped his lips, strolled over to me, pressed my head down once again, and kissed me hard. The overwhelming atmosphere of ambiguity enveloped me in his arms. After a long while, he finally let me go. I gasped and looked at him, stunned, not knowing what to do for a moment. This is not what I imagined at all. Dennis, you. I placed my hand on his forehead. This guy can't be out of his mind, right? Dennis pulled my hand down and smiled. I told you, I'm neither crazy nor drunk. Sarah, what kind of person do you think I am in your heart? I instinctively replied, you have a sharp tongue and are ruthless, never letting go of grudges. Anyway, if you get provoked, there's no good day ahead for you. Yeah. Just look at what I did to your family during the years you were abroad. I thought about it and realized he hadn't really done much. More than that, he would occasionally ask Wendy about how I was doing. I originally thought he wanted to see how I was doing. The worse off I was, the happier he would be, so I tried my best to cry to Wendy about my misery, my poverty, even painting myself as utterly wretched. My parents didn't neglect me, they gave me plenty of money. But I was alone abroad with no friends, constantly on edge. It was truly hard to endure. At least I managed to complete my studies. Just when I finally returned, I ran into him again. Dennis rubbed my head. You silly girl, you have to understand, if it weren't for me being willing, no one could have gotten me drunk, let alone tricked me into bed. I was stunned, looking up at him with a flash of disbelief in my eyes. What did you say? Dennis, say that again. I mean, I did it on purpose, and I was willing, got it? Dennis pinched my cheek. I flinched in pain and pushed him away. After thinking it over, I finally realized. You mean you like me? I like you. When you first came to my house as a child, I already liked you. You were friends with Wendy, so I didn't dare make a move. Later, when you grew up, every time you came over to play with Wendy, your eyes would sparkle when you looked at me. I knew I could no longer ignore you. Every frown and smile of yours was etched in my heart, I couldn't ignore any part of you. When I found out you liked me, I was very happy inside. I was momentarily stunned. Then why did you still tell me to get lost? Your little junior sister said such harsh things when she came over. The little junior sister, also a promising talent favored by the mentor, he asked me to take good care of her, but I didn't expect her to be so troublesome. Besides, what I said that day wasn't for you to get lost, it was for her to get lost. She has been interfering in my private life for a long time. I told her to stop, but she wouldn't listen, so I lost my temper. I didn't expect that as soon as I said one word, you ran away. Later, when I wanted to find you, I discovered that your parents had sent you abroad overnight. I thought I had upset you and that's why you were avoiding me, but later I realized you were afraid of me. You little girl, you really are something. I was instantly stunned, never expecting that he actually liked me. What surprised me even more was that he was willing to be outwitted by me, while I, being timid, confessed everything to my parents and ran away for fear of his revenge. This misunderstanding is huge. This is so thrilling, I can't accept it all at once. So does that mean we're even now? Dennis chuckled, seeing my confused and bewildered look, and nodded, I'll take you back. He opened the hotel room door and took me back. I was a bit surprised. This room? I rented this room long term. Sometimes when I miss you, I come over to lie down, sit, and rest for a while. That lunatic. Seeing Dennis like this, I couldn't help but feel a little scared. Luckily, he likes me, otherwise, I don't even know what would happen if I offended him. After he sent me back, I happened to run into my parents. Seeing Dennis escort me home, my parents were shocked. I didn't have time to say much, but Dennis walked over, greeted them, and ruffled my hair, saying, remember to keep in touch on WeChat. After he left, my parents pulled me aside. What happened? Did he come looking for trouble? Sarah, what did you do to him this time? Not at all, Mom, nothing happened. My mom didn't believe me. No way, he wouldn't be trying to get back at you, would he? Why would he want to get back at me when everything was fine? Your daughter isn't some unforgivable villain. My mom pursed her lips, and my dad quickly said, since we ran into him after coming back, if he doesn't say anything, let's just pretend we don't know. As long as we can all live well, that's enough. These past 3 years have been nerve-wracking. I still don't dare tell my dad that Dennis likes me, afraid of scaring them. After all, at first, I was the one who wanted to sleep with him and even took the initiative. Forget it, I'll keep quiet for now. As soon as I got home, I called Wendy. When she heard that Dennis likes me, she immediately screamed, oh my God, is this for real? The Millennium Iron Tree actually bloomed. I have to tell everyone in the world so they can celebrate the wedding early. I just don't get it, why do you want to set us up so badly? What do you know? I've always hoped that there would be a young aunt at home about my age who I could get along with. That way, the New Year's money would be a bit more, and she could also look out for me. We could be eating and shopping buddies. It's best if the benefits stay within the family, so naturally, someone familiar is the best. Also, you need to act faster. That Yulia actually came to my house, her parents have business dealings with me, so she often comes over. What did you say? Often? A bad feeling is rising in my heart. So what does Dennis think about this? My uncle's law firm is quite busy, so usually we don't run into each other, but she comes so frequently. I'm telling you, you need to hurry up too. This time when you return to the country, come over quickly to pay a visit, and build a good relationship first. Don't let the benefits flow to outsiders, I directly submitted my internship resume to Dennis's law firm, and unsurprisingly, I was accepted. When Dennis called me, I chuckled and said, "I heard the law firm over there offers great benefits, and I want to give it a try." "No problem, but I have to tell you, my standards are very strict. Being my intern is no joke." "No problem, rest assured, after all, I am a top student." I knew my qualifications weren't enough, but I could at least do some miscellaneous tasks. Besides, I had even crammed legal knowledge to pursue Xinjiao and even took a double degree as an elective. Who would have thought that on the very first day, I ran into Yulia. "Why is it you? Sarah, how do you even have the nerve to show up here?" I raised a finger and shook it. "Miss Yulia, let me remind you, don't talk nonsense in front of me, or I might sue you for defamation. I'm here to work, the new intern." After saying that, I raised an eyebrow at her. Being close to the water means getting the moonlight first. I'm definitely going for it. Yulia was stunned. "You're shameless. You're climbing into someone else's bed. What's wrong? A woman chasing a man is just a thin veil. Dennis doesn't even mind what you're shouting here. Or is it that you love but can't have him, so you're jealous, yet too proud to do anything about it?" She instantly blew up in anger, her eyes bloodshot as she stomped her foot, then turned and ran into Dennis's office. "Senior brother, look at her. How can a woman like that be allowed in here? Fire her." I smiled and, holding the documents, walked straight into Dennis's office. "Firing me is out of the question, I haven't done anything wrong. Besides, Miss Yulia, what exactly is your role in the firm? Do you have the authority to control the firm's personnel?" Yulia stomped her foot. "I am also a part of the firm, and I oppose you coming here to intern." Dennis's face darkened. "Yulia, she is someone I personally recruited." "Senior brother, didn't you say before that you would take care of me forever?" I raised an eyebrow. "Take care of me forever?" "Sarah, I'll explain this matter to you later. For now, take these materials and familiarize yourself with them." After saying that, he pushed me outside, patted my shoulder, and said, "I'll handle this." Then he closed the door. I looked at Dennis inside and instantly felt a chill in my heart. Damn, he used to say he liked me, said I was just a junior sister, and that he was taking care of me out of respect for the mentor. But now, he's actually blocking me out. By the way, I heard from Yulia that he is going to get engaged. Who exactly is he getting engaged to? Yesterday I forgot to ask Wendy, and just as I was about to make a call, the team leader came over and handed me a stack of documents, asking me to run errands and make copies. There are also many legal provisions I need to memorize and become familiar with. By the time I finished handling everything, it was already noon. Dennis was so busy he hadn't come out at all, and from inside, I could occasionally hear crying. I couldn't hear clearly, but after Yulia came out, her eyes were red. When she passed by me, she gave me a fierce glare. I glanced inside, and since Dennis showed no sign of coming out, I took out my phone and sent a message to Wendy to inquire. After a long while, she replied, "I'm not very sure, but I did hear my dad and mom mention it before. It seems to be about some kind of agreement, but don't worry, this matter absolutely cannot happen. Besides, now that uncle has you, Yulia has to step aside." I felt irritated. When I looked up, Yulia was right in front of me. "Sarah, come out, I want to talk to you." "No time. It's about Dennis." "Don't you want to know who he's marrying?" "I know you're unhappy about it, but there are some things you have the right to know. Whether you come or not is up to you." Yulia turned and walked away, but after hesitating for a moment, I followed her. When we reached the cafe downstairs, she arrogantly said, "I am his arranged marriage partner. Dennis promised to take care of me, Sarah. I know you're upset, but that's the truth. If you don't believe me, you can ask Dennis yourself. If you want things to go smoothly, it's best not to mess with me, or I can make sure you can't stay here for even a minute." I laughed, but inside I was bitter. Just a moment ago, I found out he liked me, but the next moment, I learned he was already promised to someone else. I stood up and left, silently returning to the law firm. Seeing Dennis come out of the office, I felt deeply wronged. What a scumbag. Dennis stared at me and tapped the table. Lunchtime? I shook my head. No. Come on, I'll take you to eat. No need, I'm quite busy. Sarah, don't forget, you just had surgery at the hospital. That bastard is irresponsible. Don't you want to be responsible for yourself? As soon as I heard him mention responsibility, I instantly got furious. No need, I'll go by myself. I grabbed my bag and ran out. By the time Dennis caught up, I had already entered the elevator. The moment the doors closed, tears suddenly welled up in my eyes. Damn bastard, that son of a bitch Dennis is really no good. I originally wanted to back out and just quit the internship. But this was a hard-earned opportunity for me. I couldn't shrink back. Not long after I got downstairs, Dennis caught up with me. Sarah, even if you want me dead, at least let me die knowing why, okay? What's going on? I just went in and said a couple of words to her, and you changed. Did she say something to you? Hearing that, I couldn't hold back anymore. I fiercely grabbed my bag and threw it at him. You bastard. You're engaged to her, so why are you messing with me? Dennis, is this how you take revenge on me? I admit, you succeeded. Dennis rubbed his forehead where I had hit him. How can you listen to her so easily? Sarah, I never had a marriage engagement with her. I did say I would take care of her, and that was true, but it was because the mentor said so. But now, she is no longer my junior sister. The mentor has already expelled her. Secondly, the engagement was spread by their own family, and it wasn't with me, but with David, Wendy's cousin, an art student abroad who has barely come back a few times. Our two families have a pretty good relationship, so I often came over to visit. After a while, she got to know me, and I followed what the elders said about taking care of them, meaning I wanted to help bring the two of them together. Who would have thought this girl actually misunderstood my intentions? Today I made it clear that her marriage to David is off. I will issue an announcement soon. I couldn't hold it in anymore. Damn it, this woman actually dared to lie to me and even wanted me to back out. She played me. I looked at Dennis feeling a bit embarrassed, and he tapped my forehead, saying, You sentenced me to death without asking anything. Luckily, I spoke up. How would I know? Your family is wealthy and influential, and you're a famous lawyer. Women chasing after you are as numerous as fish crossing the river. But the only one who dared to pin me down on the bed was you, Sarah. Who can compare to you? You're the one who ruined my innocence. Hearing him say that, I couldn't help but smile, finally calming down. But why does Wendy know nothing at all? Seeing my doubt, Dennis explained, What else does that girl do all day besides eating, drinking, and having fun? That's true. After coming back from dinner, I was in a great mood. Yulia would occasionally give me a cold look, but I ignored her. I was here to seriously focus on my career and wouldn't be swayed by her. Soon, Dennis did announce, just as he said, that the two families had called off the engagement. When Yulia saw it, tears flashed in her eyes, and she ran off without looking back. She didn't come for several days afterward. I heard she took leave, but I didn't pay it any mind. But soon I was forced onto the trending searches. The headline read, Heiress shamelessly seduces another's fiancé. Although the video was pixelated, you could still make out my silhouette. The article insinuated that I had hooked up with a famous lawyer, even accusing me of drugging him and sleeping with him. Afraid of retaliation, she went abroad to lay low, and after 3 years, she came back to seduce her fiancé once again. As soon as the news broke, the entire internet started digging into the true identities of the male and female leads. A famous lawyer, graduated from University A, the eldest in the family, and wealthy, doesn't this perfectly describe Dennis? Besides, our circle is so small that it didn't take long for someone with ill intentions to reveal my identity. Sarah went abroad to lay low 3 years ago, and after 3 years, she returned and joined Dennis's law firm. Then someone even posted a photo of Dennis and me having dinner together. Isn't this a textbook case of the mistress trope? Instantly, netizens swarmed my public platform and started hurling insults. Are mistresses really this arrogant these days? With that kind of stamina, what can't you succeed at? Why do you have to hook up with someone else's fiancé? Is it easy for the young lady? I heard your family isn't short of money either. Why not talk to me? I'd like to live off someone else, is that okay? Lawyer Dennis is indeed quite handsome, but you should have some self-awareness. He does have a fiancé, you know. When I saw these, I instantly exploded with anger. Are these people all mush in their heads? They actually said I was the mistress, but Yulia was never the official girlfriend from start to finish. I was furious, picked a few tough points, and started arguing with them online, but the more I argued, the more people insulted me. I was so angry that tears came to my eyes. When Dennis came over and saw me like this, he knocked on my desk and said, "Leave everything to me. Don't forget what I do. You just stay home and rest for a few days, okay?" At that moment, I heard his words, nodded helplessly, and had no choice but to go back first. After Dennis sent me home, he told me to turn off my phone and rest at home for a few days while he handled everything. I never expected that a few days later, netizens would expose that I had a miscarriage and underwent surgery. Sarah was careless, got pregnant abroad, came back to have an abortion, and Dennis even brought her back and continued to pursue her. This guy is not picky at all, going after a woman who's been played out. Various insults flooded my phone, and Dennis was also scolded along with me. I could tell Dennis must be very busy. These past 2 days, when I called him, his voice sounded especially exhausted. It's all my fault, but why should I have to endure all this? Wendy also called me, "Sarah, it must be Yulia. My uncle-in-law has been busy dividing up our family business lately. Once all the cooperative projects are split, we'll start our counterattack. You must not lose hope." No, I know it's Yulia, so I haven't bothered him during this time. But there are some things I want to handle myself. Help me check on Yulia and David's engagement, see if there are any photos or anything, and send them all to me. After hanging up the phone, about 3 hours later, Wendy sent over all the information. I didn't expect this girl to be quite reliable in doing this. Yulia had already been engaged to David 5 years ago. David went abroad to pursue art, found a girlfriend there, but they broke up. He also clearly expressed to Yulia that they should separate. Yulia didn't agree and kept going to his house. She had her eye on Dennis. In her view, if the nephew didn't work out, she could go for the uncle, not to mention Dennis was even better. Later, she kept taking advantage of the fact that she and Dennis shared the same mentor, pushing her luck. Fine, now she's even turning things around on me. I don't know where these dirt stories came from, but my intuition tells me Yulia is involved. No one else has shown me such hostility except her. So I laid everything out and marked it with a timeline. In the end, I specifically stated, Dennis and I like each other. Going abroad for 3 years was for further studies. I don't think I am at fault, nor do I believe that earnestly pursuing love is something shameful. On the other hand, some people can't stand to see me happy behind my back and want to label me. Ms. Yulia, your fiancé is not my boyfriend at all, please take care of yourself. I attached Yulia and David's engagement agreement, along with their photo together. At that time, to confirm their relationship, they had quite a few intimate photos, and Dennis quickly sent them to me under the law firm's name. That's right, the police have been notified to collect evidence, and a formal complaint has been filed. Also, no settlement. Dennis has more evidence than I do, including all the messages and videos Yulia sent him in her persistent harassment. The day Yulia was taken away, quite a few media outlets captured it. She cried and begged for forgiveness, but Dennis had already said no, refusing to reconcile. This matter was resolved even faster than I expected. In the end, the family spent a large sum of money to bail her out and sent her directly abroad. It was impossible for Yulia to come back. I even accompanied Dennis on a trip to University A to visit his mentor, Professor Tom. Professor Tom had previously wanted to match them up, but seeing Yulia in that state, he understood that forced relationships never turn out well. Moreover, after seeing me, it was even harder to say anything more. I held Dennis's hand, and after leaving Professor Tom's office, we strolled through the campus. Everyone says you're the male idol of University A. Quite a few people have come looking for you, even crossing campuses just to attend the same class as you. Dennis, you're really popular. Back then, I was chasing after you, but you wouldn't even look at me. Dennis chuckled lightly. You little girl, you clearly knew I had feelings for you. Every time I saw you, my heart would race. Watching you chat so freely with those other guys made me so jealous I was about to go crazy. And yet you kept up that cold, aloof act. Every time I saw you, I didn't dare say a word. Thinking back, I even got myself drunk just to have the courage to make a move on him. Little did I expect that Dennis had been waiting for me to fall into his trap all along. Sarah, once you've fully recovered, let's get married. Dennis's proposal came out of the blue. I was secretly delighted. I've long since fully recovered. Nonsense, they say even a light postpartum confinement takes 3 months. How long has it been for you? Dennis, is there something wrong with your brain? When have I ever done postpartum confinement? Wait, did you believe the rumors online that I had an abortion? Dennis was stunned. Didn't you say someone got you pregnant? That day when I went to the hospital to see you, you were holding on to the wall, looking pale. Upon hearing this, I burst out laughing and took out my phone to show him the group meal I had on my first day back in the country. Eating continuously for 6 hours, eating until indigestion? He gave a thumbs up. Sarah, as expected of you, returning home with a child, all are gluttons, haven't you heard? I just indulged a little, never thought it would lead to a hospital visit, and never thought you'd actually misunderstand. Dennis was both amused and helpless. I always thought you had surgery. It just occurred to me that he always said he wanted to stand up for me, to teach that unfaithful man a lesson, and even talked about suing him. I always thought he meant Wendy, but it turned out we were just talking past each other. I laughed and fell into his arms. Dennis lifted my chin and gave me a deep kiss. Sarah, no matter what you become, you will always have a place in my heart. He held my hand, and I stood on tiptoe to kiss him deeply. Later, Dennis and I got married. Wendy cried uncontrollably. You've finally become my aunt-in-law. From now on, you have a place at the table, don't forget about me. Don't worry, from today on I'm your elder now, so I'll definitely take good care of you. Wendy hugged me. I never thought it would actually work out for you. You're my idol, Sarah. That night, I watched Dennis come out of the bathroom, those abs, that physique, simply perfect. But when the moment came, I felt a bit shy, my limbs stiffened, and I got very nervous. Dennis smiled, pulled me into his arms, and kissed me all the way down. It happened naturally, though my waist felt a bit sore. The next morning, I received a message from Wendy. Did the battle robe still fit? How did the battle go? Just thinking about how I took out the battle robe Wendy had prepared for me from my secret stash last night made me blush. The fragments of the battle robe were still on the floor. I glanced at Dennis sleeping beside me and sent her a thumbs up emoji. SOSO. I turned my head and met Dennis's teasing gaze. SOSO, looks like the wife isn't very satisfied? No. Very satisfied, very satisfied. I rubbed my waist and quickly corrected myself. Unfortunately, he didn't give me a chance, showing by action that I was left speechless with satisfaction. Dennis, after all, became mine.